It was morning, and I was nighttime. I one day woke up to find her lying beside my bed. I softly said, "Come take me." For I feel lonely, in need of someone, as though I've done someone wrong somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't know where. Come lately. You are the sun, I am the moon. You are the words, I am the tune. Play me. Song she sang to me, song she bring to me, words that rain in me, rhyme that spring from me, and I wonder not, and what was right because me. You are the sun, I am the moon, you are the words, I am the tune. Hi, Mom and Dad. And so it was that I came to travel upon a road formed and narrow. Another praise would save me. You are the sun, I am the moon. You are the words, I am the tune. Play me. You are the sun, I am the moon. You are the words, I am the tune.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful wet Thursday.
Rainy day, a hot day Thursday.
I gotta thank our music maestro, Braxton. He's now Baxton. He's no longer Braxton. Baxton?
Oh, he got his name back?
Yeah, I graduated. Because anytime you look that sharp, you gotta get it back.
Frank's loving his jacket.
I'm gonna tell you, people are writing in. They love the singing. They love the jacket. They love the whole. You know, I tried to explain to somebody the other day the difference between doing a show and doing entertainment, and that man today is all entertainment.
He's got the whole look down. I got to tell you, the
You hear
rain
that
today.
sound? No, you hear that sound? What was that sound we just played? That's Josh Martin on the
Josh?
guitar. What
Josh.
was that you just playing?
He's like, hold on. He's getting it. Is today your favorite day?
You know what song that is?
Take me out to the ball game. We need
That's
some
right.
peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
We should have done that today. Today is opening day across the major leagues. It is the first time since 1964 that every 1974 that every 32 teams are opening up on the same day. Usually they break the schedule. First time in the history, a second time in the history of the game, they are going to open everybody up. Everybody's opening up. And I got to tell you, the big controversy is it went from 3 hours and 17 minutes down to 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Took an hour off.
It took an hour off because of the clock and everything that goes in
Is
there.
that good or not good?
It depends on your style. There's a guy who took his son and he says, I wanted to spend 3 hours with my boy at the stadium. Old school, I got to admit, I'm going to miss that. New school, you get to do more games. They're going to bring back double headers.
Is that why they got all the teams out on the same day today?
They broke every record in the world last year for Major League Baseball. This year they want to increase it even more, and that's a hard feat to do every year. But the game is going to be faster. There's going to be more scoring. They position the defense, so there's more offense. Everything's more offense. And I'm excited, man. And, I didn't realize, and I was going to talk to Josh, I didn't have a chance, that when you're a pitcher and they control the amount of time that you can't get your head in the game for the next pitch, it changes you. Physically, emotionally, everything changes. The game is about to change. When we were kids, we used to play on the clock because it would get dark at 6 o'clock, so we had to get the games in real quick. And I feel like it's back to that again. So what do you think?
I think there's only two mind sport games in the world. One's baseball and the other one is golf. And for baseball, it is all up to the pitchers because it's just them out there. And when you give them a pitch clock, they can't rest their mind.
That's right.
They got to go at it. So once they go at it, they have to focus on pitching strikes more, getting it into the square, and they're going to pitch it more down the middle and give the batters a better chance to hit the ball.
And that's what's happening. And then they moved the defense. They spread it out so there's more holes now. So this is a great formula. Batter must be ready in 8 seconds. 7 seconds, you get a strike. So if you're like lingering and there's 7 seconds on the clock, strike.
Who decided for all these changes? I mean,
Major League Baseball.
as a whole,
Not the people wanted it.
because the games were long.
The games were way too long.
But
Do you-
football's just as long.
Football's a different animal.
Football is different because for football it's like only out of the 60 minutes that are played, there's only like 5 minutes of action.
Yeah. And it's all the build-up.
But football is a 3 hour.
3 hour and a half
It's a
minutes.
3 hour game.
That's because all the advertisements too, though.
Well, baseball,
That's-
now you go at 7 o'clock. You'll be home before 10 o'clock.
But the only thing I'm scared about baseball is there's going to be more advertisements too because the innings are much shorter. So I don't know how long they're going to do these little commercial breaks for, but they better be shorter as well too then.
Well, also injuries are going to play a major role in this stuff. But I'm excited today's opening day. Doesn't matter that it's raining like cats and dogs here in Florida. Of course, the Miami Super Stadium is sealed up.
I don't know. I pulled up this morning and I saw the black clouds as I'm driving. And I'm thinking, please, I'm going to get there before the rain. And I hit 20th Street. Skies open up. God says to me again, Noah, build the ark. But yet, Noah did not have the ark. So I get to the studio, and what happens?
What is that? Wait a
don't
minute.
have a
What's
mic.
going on? What's going on?
She doesn't have a mic.
You don't even have a mic.
You don't have a mic.
No.
Not that
No.
mic. You got to get rid of a mic. The director didn't give her a mic.
That was a close one.
Breaking news. The Amp Media Network at Brooklyn Cafe show is now inviting the public, which is you guys, to be a part of our live studio audience. These shows are airing on Oldies 95.3/106.9 on the radio, and we would want you to be a part of it. So please come. Back to Dawn and Freddie. Thank you.
We almost pulled it off.
Almost.
Oh my. We forgot to give her a mic. Well, there you have it.
But that is true. We are taping, and we are asking the public to come on, and not today because it's rainy, but come on in, and you can see a show. You have some coffee. Maybe there's popcorn in the future.
I smelled popcorn when we came back in yesterday. It was burnt popcorn, but I smelled the popcorn. And now you've got something hanging in the toilet that just smells like my grandparents' house.
Yes.
Ever have that smell that you don't know until you know it again, and it brings back that feeling, that sense of what it was? That's that thing you put in the toilet that makes me think I'm at my grandparents' house.
Look who's in the house.
Nice hair.
The Mod Squad is in the house.
I like it a lot.
How long did it take you to get that hair that way? Because that is perfect.
Just gotta pick it up. Spray some leave-in
That
But
is
didn't you
on
have it
you?
all braided yesterday?
Yeah,
That was a
took
lot
it
of
out.
work then. No?
Because when my mom does it big, they're easier to take
You
out.
know, it makes you look younger.
Or it does. I feel like I'm in middle school again.
It looks fantastic.
Mod Squad. Who remembers the Mod Squad?
Only you and me, because
That's
we're
what
old.
my parents been talking about every time I come home.
Look it up on
Oh,
YouTube.
my brother.
Look it up on YouTube. There was a black gentleman on
I feel like
that.
we need a mod squad
and
in
you
here.
look just like
You know
him.
your 5 leaders? That's our mod squad.
I'm gonna tell you, Moscow was a great show. Great. You guys would love the Moscow. It was about millennials solving crime.
Were they millennials back in the day?
Yeah. Well, no, that's what they would be classified.
Yeah, but we got Scooby Doo.
You got Scooby Doo.
That's a cartoon. Now,
Oh, we don't got Velma. We don't got Velma.
You like Velma or Daphne better?
No, there's a new cartoon show called Velma.
Velma.
Oh,
It's
really?
not good.
Is it based off of Velma from Scooby Doo?
But it's like it's an adult version, and all the storylines are all crude. Like everyone's just like, this makes no sense. So like,
we took a good thing and turned it bad.
Exactly.
I'm like,
Wow.
you could have kept it the original.
Surprise, surprise.
Wow, I can't believe. Did you see Dolly Parton did a song, I think with Lady Gaga,
It's Miley Cyrus.
oh Miley Cyrus. It's called Rainbow. And they're criticizing it to death.
Why?
Because it's encouraging people to like gay people, and so they don't want it to be sung by little 3rd graders because it's just like it's too controversial.
But
Every
it's
single
not
Dolly Parton
encouraging-
song encourages love and happiness and
Yes.
equality amongst all. Dolly
Yes.
Parton is amazing, and she's also doing a whole rock album that is
Well,
going to be
I
very
don't understand
inclusive.
why people are so afraid to say I love you to anybody, whether you're gay or not. And Dolly Parton, come on, Dolly Parton? Really?
Parton.
Dolly Parton has pancakes and batters for cookies, man.
Everyone should be accepting of all people.
Well,
That's- I
they
don't
want to
understand.
ban it. Well, what else is new? They want to ban it and all this controversy.
Well, I'm
So
sure
this
that's why
morning-
she decided to do it, because she wanted to bring it light to acceptance of everybody.
You tell her it's about acceptance to everybody. That's all. That's all. Yeah.
We got to bring good music back. Free,
Yeah.
free music.
Like the 70s. You know,
Yeah.
you should have been born in the 70s.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's okay.
Totally should have. So back to my rainy day story.
Oh,
We
this
took a
morning,
commercial
yes,
break. So
yes.
this morning I pull up. I'm on the phone with you because you had a little incident. And you said to me, it's just raining. It'll only take you 30 seconds to get in the door. And I see Baxton's car is here. So I'm like, all right, Freddie said it's going to be okay. Don't listen to Freddie said. So I get out of the car,
Now, mind you, it's 5 feet from the door to her car,
if even that.
if even that.
I get to the door. There's no gutters on our building. So everything is pouring off of the overhang right in front of our door. And I'm cursing your name as I'm trying to get in
first
the door.
of all, it cannot pour over the overhang.
Baxton, help me out. Was the water pouring over the overhang? It was on the front step. I couldn't get my.
But you see the
in the
water
door.
when you're in your car.
Yeah, so like
pouring
here's the
off the
thing.
overhang.
When me and Don got here around the same time, and we were both like waiting on the car, like who's gonna get out first? Who's gonna get out first?
I thought I got to get out first because Baxton's going to run out in the rain. He's not going to be able to get in the studio. So here I am. I'm plastered against the wall. I'm trying to do it with all of my bags. And I'm trying to turn the key this way because if I turn this way, my whole back soaked. My shoes are still wet.
Yeah, it's like for example, I opened my door because I was gonna try to make a break for it. I opened my door for about a second, and my entirety of my pants got soaked.
Yeah, because the parking lot gets flooded.
And you mosey on in,
hold on,
and
hold
it's
on.
dry.
You mosey on and like
Hold on a second.
doo-doo-doo.
But to get here, along 2nd Avenue, I see all of these cars floating.
It was bad.
They were floating in the streets on 2nd Ave. I said, holy smokes. So along comes this truck, goes right through, my car drowns. So I said, well, wait a minute. So now I got my window out and I'm going like this to people. Don't pass me.
Is that what this
they
means?
do. No, this means I'm going to punch you in the head.
That's what I thought.
So there were cars.
Like, I don't remember
floating
learning this signal.
Like ice cubes. So the cops come over and Bailey says, well, I saw a lot of blue lights over there. Unbelievable amount of water. But Dawn, if you're sitting in your car and you see the water shooting down, then you wait. I didn't know that was the problem. I thought it was because this is a flat roof. There's no
It was
gutters.
pouring.
It's like
Pouring.
when you drive in this kind of weather, it's kind of horrifying because it gets so bad that you don't see if the light's red or green or if there's a car right in front of you. It's horrifying.
You know, and Katie and I, the little ones, drive the big cars. So she gets out of her car. She puts
big
her
car?
foot down. Yeah, but you're bigger than me and Katie. Foot right in the puddle.
Yeah, there's big puddles.
It's
outside.
like quicksand.
Where'd you learn how to walk? And then you got spikes for shoes. How can you even touch water?
My shoes are so wet right now. It's like, and I even tried to blow dry them. It does not even help. Hair done.
Did
It's a hot
you-
day.
are you-
Dryer works
sneakers
wonders
wet?
for shoes.
I'm dry.
No,
Dry
as
as
a
a
bone.
bone.
I purposely walked over them because these are brand new, so I need to.
All I know is
think
me and
anyone would.
Katie.
It was not raining where I live.
In
Oh,
Miramar,
It
you
wasn't
really-
raining where you live?
None at
Really?
all.
I heard it was
came
not.
down buckets here.
They told me it was raining in Miramar all night.
Yeah.
Someone called and
And the
said all
night.
night it was raining and it was sunny and beautiful.
I woke up beautiful.
No, I didn't.
Bocaire, it was underwater. I said, wow, look at this. And I locked myself in my bedroom today.
Well-
I broke the lock on my bedroom. I couldn't get out of my room. I was in there for 20 minutes
You were
trying to
locked in
figure
your bedroom?
Yeah.
How did you lock
On the
yourself in the
inside?
bed?
Because I broke the I
bedroom?
broke the lock
How? Why was the door closed?
because of Casper.
Casper closed the door?
No, he jumps in the room and he does all sorts of messes, so I can't do that. I gotta lock the cat out.
So you closed the door, locked the cat out, and locked yourself in the room.
Yes.
No more locked doors.
And I couldn't get out. I had to go through a window.
How'd you get
out?
out?
The front door.
Window.
You have a sliding door that you went out?
Yeah.
It was open? And you walked
I
around the house?
opened it. No, I went outside in the rain.
In the rain.
In the rain, my shoes, everything gets wet. Oh, I was so mad. I saw the cat. I said, "Come here." And I open it. I go in and I reopen it. From the outside, you can open it. From the inside, you can't. So Linda goes, "Don't worry, Freddie. We'll fix it tonight." Tonight, I would still be there.
You'd still be locked in your room. I spoke to you and you said to me, I'm locked in my bedroom. I said, and I'm here in the rain. You're what? Where?
I was locked in my bedroom.
Not even outside.
You guys
in
ever
it.
lock yourself out of your house?
Yeah.
yes. When I
But
was
you
in
locked
Multiple-
yourself in
Very
your room.
recently.
Multiple
walk
times.
home, I would lock myself, and then I would go to my neighbor's house for a couple hours. I'm like, I'm locked out again. They're
So,
like, yeah.
I
My
have a
front of my
story.
house had a.
So this is during, we call it snowpocalypse in Atlanta.
You call
Because
it
in
what?
Atlanta,
Snowpocalypse?
people don't know how to react to snow. So they
True.
start parking all over the place and parking in the strangest places. So everybody was parked on the street because there was black ice all over the road. So we walked to our door, and my mom can't find the key. And we're just standing out in the freezing cold. So here we are walking from house to house of our neighbors, see if anybody will let us in the house. Then we finally find a nice neighbor, and we're getting relaxed. And my mom digs in the bottom of her person. She pulls out the key.
Snowpocalypse.
Snowpocalypse.
And there you have it.
One of the most horrifying events ever.
My cousin was staying with me because he was going through a rough patch when I lived in the Bronx in New York. And I was really mad at him for something. I don't remember. It was, I'm going to go throw away the garbage. Now, when I lived in the Bronx, you had to take the garbage to the basement of the building in an elevator and throw it in the garbage cans that they had downstairs. So all of a sudden, and my ex-wife, my first wife, decides, because I was so upset and justifiably, and she says, I'm going to walk you downstairs to throw away the garbage. Now, I didn't ask her to, but she was my wife, so I said, okay, come on. And then he comes along. And I said, bro, don't worry about it. Just wait for me to come back up and everything's cool. No, let me lock the door. So he takes my key and he breaks my key in the door. So I say, okay, when I come back up from downstairs, this door better be open. I come back upstairs, door ain't open. He says, do you have your bank cards, your debit cards, anything, so I can pry the door open? He destroys my credit cards.
Oh, no.
Destroys my bank card. So I said to him, because you used the word apocalypse, I said, when is this apocalypse going to stop? Get away from the door. So I call my sister. She comes with a pair of pliers. I get the key out. She had my spare key, and we open the door. But That's what happens when you lock yourself out of a house. But it's not you that did it.
You locked
somebody
yourself
else.
in your house. That's the difference. You were literally in
You've
your
never
house.
locked yourself in a room?
No.
No.
Oh, never.
I don't think I've broken the handle enough. Like,
That handle popped. I heard the spring break.
you must have been like,
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Nope. Never locked myself in a room in my house.
Well, you're good.
No,
Oh, I
about
never wore a pair of high heel shoes and walked 5 feet and drowned either, but
I
it
don't know about that.
happens. It happens.
But I have to tell you, I've been reading Frank's book. I have to find this picture because you're not even going to believe this. So, all right, you know Frank is very much of the soothsayer. So I took this book with me on the plane, Tres Archangelis.
Yes, Chuck,
And this is
Chuck told me.
Okay, so this is the next book after Gabriel's Chalice. And I'm reading, it talks about, obviously, the 3 archangels. So I'm reading the book and I'm on this page and he talks about Freds.
About what?
Freds.
Freds.
F-R-E-D-S.
What the hell is that?
Okay, what is your name?
Freddie.
Did we know? Did we know Frank when he wrote this book?
No.
Okay, but in this book, he talks about Freds.
What's a Freds?
Okay.
Is that like a person?
A Fred is effing ridiculous electronic devices. Now, what does this Fred surround himself with?
Electronic devices.
Effing ridiculous electronic devices. So I feel like Frank is channeling his Freddiness when he wrote this
I
book.
swear to God, what happened when you wet your hair? Do you burn a brain? What are you talking about? Freds? That's a coincidence.
Does anything Frank do be a coincidence?
So what did he have to say about Freds? So now I'm a freaking
So
electronic
Frank,
device?
if you're watching, we're going to talk about the Freds in this book. I'm reading this and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he did it again. Forget the whole point of the book. We're talking about the archangels, the Freds, and here you are, surrounded by ridiculous electronic devices.
There's a doctor that I need you to go see. 'cause
You don't find that, very coincidental?
No, only that you were making it coincidental.
Freds, they didn't talk about Josh's or Chelsea's or Nicole's.
That's because they don't have
Freds.
freaking
Ridiculous electronic devices.
Freaking ridiculous is the first thing. If you can get those two in the same sentence,
And
it's pretty
hence, that's your verbiage. That's like your word of words.
good. Freaking ridiculous.
Yes.
Do I say that?
You say it all the time.
ridiculous.
You just don't use the freaking word. You use the other word. Just saying it's another Fred. So now we're going to have the Freds. All right, you ready to take a commercial break?
You've really lost your mind.
Oh, this is what happens on catch up.
Wow.
Anyway, all of Frank's books are available here in the studio to purchase. We have 10 right now, all signed. We can also get you to meet the author, Frank A. Ruffolo. I am loving this book because for me, it's always about the angels. He's got one person that's looking for Archangel Raphael's staff. He's got another one that has been summoned by God to the moon. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then Archangel Gabriel. So the third Archangel, let's see who it is. More to come. Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A. We'll be right back.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties. Open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
Are you compromising your medical care for doctors out of your network? Are you tired of dealing with referrals to see a specialist? Are you aware that you can save up to $155 a month on your Medicare premiums? You need an all-in-one benefits company that can help with all of your Medicare plan needs. Call today, All-in-One Benefits Group at 954-614-5488. We're here to find an all-in-one plan for you. 954-614-5488. Call today for open enrollment.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like a mountain at springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the Come let me love you. Let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter. Let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you. Let me always be with you. Come let me love you. Come love me again. Fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. Fill up my senses, come fill me again.
How do you clap? Like, how do you clap louder?
Why? Louder.
Because, like, I want to clap loudly for him, but my hands don't clap.
You're like a fish.
That's what I'm asking if you, like, clap. My dad used to always
You know how
clap
to
like
whistle
this.
with your fingers?
No. How do I make a lot of
G-Man, how do you
noise?
whistle with your fingers?
How do you whistle? It's like a fish.
I have it over there. I whistle. Josh whistles too.
I feel like
right,
I want
Josh?
to clap loudly for Baxter. My hands don't clap loud. My rings just hit each other.
I gotta tell you, the song that Mr. B just sang is one of my most favorite songs. That's one of my most favorite songs. That was a song that my brother used to play when he was alive, and it brings back a lot of memories. So I want to thank him for doing that. I want to thank all of you for all the wonderful messages that you're sending in here. We appreciate you very much, and we're just trying to add a little levity to the shows because every show should have a little levity.
I got to tell you, songs always send messages. You know, I'm not the lyrical queen.
No, you make up your own lyrics.
I make up my own lyrics. And remember when I met you, I told you I don't even understand lyrics? But suddenly, like, the veil has been lifted, and now I hear lyrics.
Well, while you were away because you had some personal business you had to take care of, we actually have sat down, and we are working on a concept where you walk in here, and you will be putting on 3D glasses.
Nice.
Watch out now. Now watch out. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but there's going to be some interesting stuff going on in here.
Bailey's going to be working on some things, I
It's
think.
not only Bailey, Bailey's going to be leading the charge, but we have decided that Walt Disney ain't got nothing on us. I tell you this, when I went up there, I was inspired. A lot of it had to do with what I saw and what I felt, but a lot of his technology is already in this building. The mass scientists that are here, and they can make anything happen. Now, is it going to have a couple of bumps at the beginning? Yeah, but can it work? You watch. Keep an eye out.
Baxton, that was fantastic. I don't know where he is, but thank you
He's
for
walking
that.
around over there. Yeah.
We got one of our OGs back in the house. It's always nice when our old producers come back and visit. So welcome, Vlad. It's good to see you. It's like a home. They come home and see what's going on.
Do you remember what Vlad's nickname was?
I called him Amadeus.
That's what we used to call him. He never liked that, by the way. He was like, I don't like Amadeus. But Amadeus is the only way I remembered his name. You know, on my phone, I went to see Creed 3, and I sent him a text, how you doing? I don't know why, but I saw the movie, and it made me think of Vlad. And I have him in the phone as Amadeus.
I don't know why we called you Amadeus.
Musical man. He was
because
very
you know that song "Rock Me Amadeus," and I think
reminds me
that's
of
what
him.
reminded me of him. And I don't remember why, but somehow nicknames always stick here.
It's true. He didn't know Teddy was in the house either. It was a little shock for him as well. But it's always good to see you.
You as well. I appreciate the love.
Nice to see the OGs back in the house. We have a new friend joining us. We've got Al Sherman. I think we met Al at Meatball Room. Yes.
Yes.
And one of our producers, they called him, set
All right,
up
make
an
sure
interview.
you're talking to your mic. You could take it out of the stand.
You can even take it out and hold it.
And just
And
hold
we
it.
met Al, and you're always mortgage business, titles, things are changing in the real estate world.
Well, it's funny because when I was in New York, we had my attorney, their attorney, buyer, seller, depends on what the deal was, and a title company. Then I come down to Florida, and everything is handled by the title company. There are no attorneys.
In New York, it's an attorney state.
Yes.
So I was a realtor in New York for many years as well. So yeah.
So the title company runs the show, or I don't know how it is now, but I know that back in the day, it was all title. So the problem was that I had my merry gang of men and women, and we used to close all the deals, and then we used to go to dinner, and it was like a big party. Everybody wanted my cases because I used to treat these people hold your life in their hands.
But when you buy or sell a house, there's a lot of different components. It's not just finding the house. That's
No.
hard enough as it is. You've got your 2 realtors, you got your mortgage, you got to get your lending right, and then you don't even think about a title company, right? Inspection. Next thing you know, they throw in, well, now you need a title company. Who's going to write your title on it? But it's a big deal. It's a whole lot of paperwork.
The title company is actually the quarterback of the entire deal. We deal with the realtors, we deal with the mortgage people, we deal with all of them, put the deal together, order the searches, the title searches, lien searches, HOA estoppel letters, and all of that kind of stuff. And we actually, after that's all done, we'll actually disperse the funds. So the title company basically is the quarterback of the entire deal.
And the funny thing is, I learned this the hard way. When you go through a closing, when you sell a piece of property, everything has to be, you got to cross the T's and dot the I's. And if something lingers, the title company will tell you that they're going to make sure everything has to get paid, right? Errors and omission. So I went through a closing. I used to own 49 pieces of property in New York. I went through one closing, and the title company came to my rescue. Because what happened was it closed, and something didn't get funded that was in the rears. And by the time we got to the closing table, it was already, the money was dispersed. They wanted me to pay for it.
And then you find out there's a lien against your house that you may not even know about. And what is an HOA estoppel? What is the word estoppel?
Basically, it's just a letter from the HOA stating that they don't have a lien on your property. Your HOA dues are paid on time. There's no assessments that are due or that are hopefully coming up. They'll tell you that. So without that letter, Florida HOAs almost control everything.
They control everything.
So you definitely need an HOA estoppel letter to state that basically the new owner is free and clear to buy that house.
Isn't it
There's
funny?
nothing
It's
to-
like HOA, the Gestapo.
Your HOA is like
oh my
the
God.
Gestapo.
But then the title company came in and they saved my life, and they put it on the errors and omission.
Why?
And because they wanted $120,000. And this was after the fact. This is after the closing. And my attorney, their attorney, all the attorneys messed up the game. And it was the title company that says we're going to put it on the errors and omission. And, that's like a whoopee blanket. I would have been $120,000 light on this deal because there were things that had to get paid. So title company in Florida, the Pope, I hope that he gets better. He's a little sick right now, but they're the Pope. And when you go to a closing, it's like the church. And the Pope comes in, and if he gives the blessing and he funds the deal, then you're good. Remember what happened to me when I moved into Beaucaire? It did not fund. Had to wait till Monday because the Pope says, no, we're not done yet. We need one more piece of paper because he wants to make sure everybody walks away from the table correctly.
Yes.
So I had to tip my hat and shut my mouth. I couldn't even argue because you want things to happen yesterday, right? But until the Pope says it's done, then you go.
Let me ask, what took you from Realtor New York to title company in Florida?
Well, when I came down here after being a realtor in New York, I actually went into a different side of the real estate business. I went into the municipal lien search, HOA estoppel side. So I worked with hundreds of title companies. We were a third-party servicer that did your municipal lien search and HOA estoppels. 98% of title companies use a third-party companies to do these searches. So I
That's
went to
what you
work
do,
for them for 7 years, and it was actually owned by my son-in-law. He actually sold the company, so I decided let me go directly into title.
So I got to ask, we met you in the meatball room at the function that Cohen put
There's
together.
another one in a couple weeks.
There is. And I got to ask, why were you in that arena? Why were you giving out your business cards? Because you must have all the work in the world on closings, right?
Well, there's, with any other business, if your name is not out there, people are going to forget about you. We're actually one of the sponsors of the Network Beast.
Oh, okay.
Networking Beast. So we go to all 3 of the Networking Beast functions in South Florida. So,
And then I have a closing coming up from what I hear. A friend of mine wanted to know the seller. What kind of closing costs is the seller responsible for?
well, that's in Florida, it's kind of crazy. In most of the counties of Florida, the seller pays and picks title companies and therefore pays for the title insurance, municipal lien search, and the HOA estoppel. In some counties in Florida, such as Broward and Dade County, it's the buyer who picks and pays title. So basically, if you're if you're selling a home in Palm Beach County, you're paying for the title insurance, the HOA fee, the HOA estoppel, the municipal the lien search, and there's also a settlement fee, which could be anywhere from $595 to, $1,000. And there's also the title search fee, which is very important because the title search fee is basically, we'll go back 30 years and make sure that that seller actually owns that property and is free and clear to sell that property. And then we will issue a title insurance policy, which is a one-time thing. It's not like regular insurance you pay every month. You buy a title insurance policy one time at your closing, and that will protect you. For instance, if somebody comes back and says, I own this property, or there's a lien that wasn't found and they owe a bunch of money, title insurance policy, the underwriter will protect you and most likely pay that money.
So that's like the new errors and omission.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how important that's vital because they can come after you. What is it, a year, 2 years after a closing?
They can come after you.
Anytime.
Anytime. Because in Florida, which is different than most other places, which is usual, anything that's wrong with that home moves on to the buyer. It doesn't stay with the seller. It moves with the buyer. So any liens or anything can be attached to the new owner.
And
but in other states, it goes with the seller, so it gets wiped out? It
No,
doesn't
well, the
stay with
seller
house.
has to pay
He
it
has to
eventually.
pay.
You can sue the seller.
But you could, the buyer say, listen, until the seller pays it, I'm not moving into
Well,
the
if-
house, right? You can't
if
take
it hasn't closed, yes.
No, he's talking about after it closed.
After it's closed.
That's what happened to me. It closed and then they came
And
after
they
me.
came after you.
So errors and omission covered it. Now, cash deals is treated the same way?
Yeah.
So it's the same. All right, so you get the seller gets to pick the title company.
Yeah.
And that's that. And so if you go to a realtor and they have their title company and I want to use you, not their guy, because I know you, can I do that?
Absolutely, which a lot of sellers don't know that. And they'll go with what the real estate agent tells them.
Yep.
And a lot of times they wind up paying hundreds of more dollars because, they're not shopping title costs.
Now, all those closing fees, that whole big piece of paper, that comes from the title company or the mortgage?
It's a combination.
Combination.
We get the fees from the mortgage company and put it on either the HUD or the closing disclosure statement.
I mean, it's thousands and thousands of dollars.
But it's all ledgered.
So you sell your house and you think you're going to get
X,
right? And the commission's going to be Y, and you're going to escrow Z. And next thing you know is you look at the final number and you're
And Uncle Sam?
thousands, that comes later, thousands and thousands less. You're like, and it's all ledgered, yes, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it is what it is. The cost of doing business.
It's a lot of
But
money.
what I like about it is that I did not know that you got to pick your title company. I didn't know that. I thought that whatever the broker says that we're going to do is the way it is. No, baby. And there's a big difference between doing business with somebody you know.
Yes.
Because at least they're going to look out for you as much as possible than the guy that you're a number and boom, 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 marks your ticket, goes on to the next closing.
Absolutely.
That's not what you want.
And there's a big difference. A lot of title companies are owned by attorneys, so the attorney's going to put an extra fee on it because they're attorneys. We
called
have an
judge fee.
attorney on staff if we need one, but we don't always have to. You don't need an attorney to close in Florida, so if we don't need our attorney, our fees can actually be a lot less than an attorney-owned title company. Basically, the attorney just uses their paralegals or assistants to do everything. They put their stamp on it, and they say, okay, we can charge you $500 more because an attorney did it.
And that's important to know because you don't need an attorney like you did in New York.
No.
And my guy used to charge me X, and he was on retainer, whether I closed the deal that month or not. So it was X plus Y. And I got to tell you, I had to move a lot of business to keep all these people happy. But my goodness, what a difference when you have a crew of people that you work with. Because they look out for your interests.
Absolutely.
And the game changed. I mean, this is all about what you do in the game to make it smoother and everything else.
Can
Just
you
to make
believe
it
it's
be
different, though, in different counties? Forget different states, but you're saying even in different counties in Florida,
Yes.
it's different.
Yeah. In most counties, the seller picks and pays. In some counties, like maybe 5 or 6, the buyer picks and pays. But you can put in any contract. There's boxes where the buyer can actually pay. It's not written in stone. It's a contract. You can put it in the contract that the buyer in a seller pay county. You can put the buyer will pay, but the buyer's going to pay money he normally wouldn't pay.
Now,
but
if a couple buys a house and they're married, they would put both names on the title. It doesn't matter who's on the mortgage. At the end of
Right.
the day, it's who's on the title.
Yeah.
Can you put 2 people on the title that aren't married?
Yes.
So when you go to sell it, you still get that same deduction. It's per person, whether they're married or not.
Yeah.
But their names have to be on the title
Or the deed.
or the deed.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Deed.
make a difference
No,
down the
I
road.
mean, I'm not sure about taxes or anything, but
I was going to ask you about the 10, what is it, 1019, the 10, whatever the hell it is? The homestead thing?
yeah, well, the homestead exemption, you mean, right?
Yeah, but there's something called the 10 something or another, and you get 500,000 or 250
Yes.
tax break on that.
That's,
Up to that, but
But I think the names have to be on the deed or the title. It doesn't matter whether you're married. The names have to be on
the title.
the title, right? So if
The-
you
the
own a
mortgage-
house,
the
doesn't make a
bank,
difference.
The bank is just your partner on the house, and they own the house money-wise. If you pay them off, it's always the title.
But like I
makes
think
it
if Nikki owned a house and it's her name is on the house and she decides to get married and they sell the house,
still hers.
it's still hers. It's not hers and her significant other, her
but if
spouse's.
they get divorced, the value of that house, he's going to want a percentage because he
Well.
helped pay for it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're going to go to court for the next 15 years, depending on the size of the house, but it becomes a doable situation.
Absolutely.
But I want to also to talk about. Okay, so we're not going to do the taxes on there. You want to take a commercial break? Because I got to get my thoughts together. There's a lot of ideas and things that I want to. Oh, I know what it was. This morning, our radio station up at
West Palm.
West Palm at South Oldies, I was listening to a new show that they have, and they're talking about the real estate game. They're talking about how prices have not come down, but conceptions of prices have, and it's changed the psychology of the sale.
All right, so why don't we take a commercial break? When we come back, let's talk about the psychology of the sale and what's out there in the housing market. Give us a call, 888-994-4995. More to come with Bell Land and Title, and we'll be right back.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
Brand new shows, only on AMP2 TV. We have All-in-One Insurance, Latin Hustle Tonkarin, Meta Magazine Show, Pitch 2 Production, The Florida Love Show, The Sixth Borough, Meet the Experts, Reinvented Life, Lights in the Night, and The Hangout. Tune in so you don't miss these amazing new shows. Only on AMP2 TV.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I'm getting used to it. Not so good. I'm getting used to it.
He's funny. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
So if you sell your house, because we know we were talking about selling your house,
Yeah.
you can choose Al
I
as
was
your,
just talking to
for
him
your
off
title,
air.
right?
So me and a few other people that I know, because the philosophy of the game is what's driving the product. If you're in the $200,000 to $500,000 market and they tell you that the market is down, the interest rates are up,
Can you
everything's
get
down,
something
down,
for
down.
$200,000 to $500,000 in Palm Beach County?
Not too much.
That's what I'm I know that sounds crazy, right?
But you can. I can show you where. Oh, I didn't say where. I said you can. But you're right. I mean, you're going west, you know, where the mosquitoes are larger and everything else, but it's there. It's happening. But the bottom line here is the game is about the psychology.
Makes me think of like Rapid Hornet and big mosquitoes.
You ever seen
like
the mosquitoes out west?
Yes.
My son bought a house out west, and I was dodging planes. And he says, Dad, what are you doing? I says, what is those things? Those are the mosquitoes. It is big.
I know. Our old house had mosquitoes like crazy, and I wasn't even that far west.
But the object of the game is the psychology behind this thing. So if you think the market is soft in the lower pieces, they do that to bring the prices down. The government wants to cool off the market. But on the other end of the spectrum, man, the houses haven't changed in price. It's people's psychology, the mentality of it is what's changed.
Absolutely true.
But if you do buy and you find the right house and you find the right place to go, because that's the second part of the equation, wouldn't you want to do that investment with somebody at the table that you sort of have a relationship with?
Absolutely.
I mean, you're talking about, I know in your case, I remember what you went through.
I'm sitting at the title, and the seller chose the title company because the title company happened to be in the real estate company's office, right? So I go upstairs to the title company, and there's the realtor. She's sitting right there. And there's the title company on the other side of the table. And you sign everything really quick, right? And you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting for it to fund. Finally, after I think it was 2 hours, you said to me that you're never going to get into the house that day.
I didn't think she was going to fund that day.
But we did, and we got it. And
That's amazing.
And I left. They said, go to lunch, come back, and it funded within like an hour.
Yeah, they told me that too on Friday. I didn't close till Tuesday.
Hang with me more. Anyway, but it happened. But you're sitting there and you're at everybody's mercy waiting for all these funds to exchange hands. You don't realize what it really takes to do it.
But I got to tell you, we closed on that first property, and I didn't have title closer. They picked it, and it didn't fund until Tuesday. And I didn't know. I did not know. Like Al just told me, I could have picked. Now, what if the buyer and the seller each want to pick the title company? How's that decided?
Basically, if the person who picks the title can choose their title company, the other person can actually choose another title company, but it has to be a lawyer that does the other side of the deal. Can only do the other side of the deal. Another plain title company can't just represent the buyer or the seller.
Now, does the seller dictate the deal, or is it still buyer seller can pick?
The other side can be represented by a lawyer if they choose to.
What if I don't want to use a lawyer and I want my own title company there, and they're picking a title company? You can't have two title companies in a closing. That's ridiculous.
You can.
You can.
Yeah, you can pick your own title company, but it has to be lawyer owned. It has to be a lawyer that represents the other side.
You know what this is like for me in my head? Charlie Brown's teacher. This is like all this number stuff for me. It's so complicated in my head, but you love these details.
Well, I used to do this. I did it for 17 years.
You love this.
And you got to understand the mortgage. You got to understand. You know, baseball is developed a certain way because the game has a number, has a fine number. Bases are bigger, everything. Mortgage business is the same way. Everything. Now, during the day, we used to call it junk fees, but don't tell him because he gets mad at me. But we used to call it junk fees. Buying down a rate was called a junk fee. I'm sorry, it is what it is. So if you want to go from 6% to 5%, you could buy down a rate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But in the day, it was called junk fee.
You know, we had someone on Laura's show last week talking about the quarter point of what you're looking at in your mortgage. He's like, and he gives it the whole average, $44 a month. But people get so freaked out over a quarter point here and a quarter point there, but I guess it all adds up, and then you've got insurance.
They hear 5%, they hear 7%, Look at the numbers.
But that's not even what you're dealing with on titles.
No.
Do you love what you're doing?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I love dealing with people, explaining to them what their options are, what their costs are. You know, that you can pick whoever you want if you'd like. It's a good game.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
And what do you find people's biggest questions are? Their big aha moment when they're working with you?
The biggest thing is communication. There's a lot of title companies that won't communicate with you. You can't get a hold of them. You don't know what's going on until you're sitting at like you said, at the table, and you have to sign 50 sheets, and you're going over the actual cost sheet, and you're looking at this or looking at it quickly, and you're so nervous you're going to sign anything.
You're going to sign anything.
So, we want to explain what the costs will be ahead of time. You're supposed to get all those costs ahead of time, and your realtor or whoever is supposed to explain what these costs are, what your title search fee is, what your settlement cost fee is, all of that. Honestly, that doesn't usually happen, and usually the seller or buyer doesn't even see it until they're sitting at the table, and at that point, even if it's $400 or $500 more than maybe they expected, they're probably not going to say anything. They just want to get in at that point.
Right, because you've done everything already. You've packed your house, you're ready to go, you're ready to move into the next one.
Yeah.
Everything's ready, and you're like, okay, on a mortgage of $500,000, $800,000 in Palm Beach County, you go another $400. I don't want to do it, but okay.
Yeah, but the
I
seller,
gotta do
if
it.
you're the seller and the surprise, it's going to cost you $500 more because this showed up, that's not a problem.
See, but they haven't dealt with you yet, and this is where I'm chuckling inside, because when you finally sell your house and you go to move,
I know how to read those docs.
and you're going to be like a fine tooth comb going
it's
through
not a
them.
fine-tooth comb, but I'm gonna have questions and I'm gonna ask it. But I'm on the seller's side, which is a little bit different. The buyer's
Until
side.
you're on the buyer's side on the next day or
Right,
the same
next
day.
day you go to the buyer's
Right.
side. The buyer's side, you get a problem if you got to come up with another $1,000 and you don't have it, or you have to show where you get it from because you have to prove funds. It's not like, can you lend me $1,000? He lend me $1,000. Here you go. No, you can't do that. It's got to be clarity of funds and everything else and how you do it. So this is why I'm telling you, the best thing is that your title company take the guy to dinner once a month if you're in the real estate game. Do what I used to do. The more he informs you of what's going on the property, there are liens sometimes on properties that you want to purchase as an investor or first-time home buyer, or for my son, my daughter, whatever. It's going to kill the deal. Sometimes the liens will turn the house upside down. Am I telling you anything that's
No,
not true?
You're absolutely right. Or there's potential liens that once you purchase that house can become lienable at that point, from the city, from the county. They can you can owe the seller can owe the county money for, a bad roof, a dirty roof, not taking their dirty stuff out, and they can be fined on a daily basis. And if the municipal lien search doesn't show all this or isn't told to that buyer, it could really kick back later on. They could
Wow.
owe thousands.
And our HOA can come after you for alleged sending you warnings about your sidewalk, your roof,
exactly,
your curb appeal, the paint peeled on one piece of the house, and they send you a note, and all of a sudden, the interest makes that $1 fine from 12 years ago into $15,000. And the problem here is that the Gestapo, because I can't think of any
Your
other
HOA,
name,
yeah.
you got to get protected up front. And if you're in a community where the HOA runs your life, you better have somebody on your side to explain what's going on. And I'm telling you this from history, because if not, these things can turn into, you think you were going to make $100,000 a piece of property, maybe you walk away with $5 because the HOA says, let me show you the proof. And they got to find it. And if it's not true, you have to prove it.
Right.
That it didn't happen. Very complicated, especially, I think this summer is going to heat up again. I'm telling you, it's going to heat up again. I can smell it. And when that happens, you better sell right. And if you're a buyer, this guy is going to be the Pope. Trust me when I tell you that.
The HOA can actually lien your property.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know that.
That's why you need a friend. You need somebody who's going to sit down and not say, okay, here, sign this, goodbye. Oh, the policy will take care. No, you want to get rid of this now. You want to have peace of mind. You want to go on to that next piece of property with a clear conscience.
Al, what's the best way for people to reach you in Bell Title?
Call me, text me.
Freddie took the card.
Email me. I'm always available.
All right, office is 561-257-3503, Bell Land Title.
Cell phone is the best way to get me.
All right, with your permission, 954-648-7769.
And if you need him and you don't get that number because it's not on the screen, you call me. I'll make sure you get it because I'm going to tell you right now, give me that back. Thank you. I'm going to tell you right now, it's best to have a friend at the table, whether you're the buyer or the seller, going in. And if you're HOA, the Gestapo, guarantee you better have a friend at that table.
They may not let you in your front gate today.
They can't. That's illegal.
I'm teasing you.
No, it has happened.
You locked yourself in your bedroom. Now they may not let you in the gate.
Else, but
we're going to take a commercial break. Al, thank you so much. Contact Al for all of your title needs, buying or selling. When we come back, we've got Veronica Green, Veggie Vero in the house, cooking up, I am sure, a healthy vegan snack. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422. For no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to StephanieJaffeArt.com.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days. All in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 855-348-5925. That's 855-348-5925. Again, 855-348-5925.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune. If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
Call 855-993-2180. That's 855-993-2180. Again, 855-993-2180.
Come on down to the Brooklyn Cafe and enjoy our delicious 100% Arabica organic coffee. You can also tune into the Brooklyn Cafe show and have the chance to win a free bag. For more information on how to get your own bag, check us out at thebrooklyncafe.tv.
Hey Kaylee, what's up?
Hey, nothing, what's up?
Nothing, just looking for music for Grandpa I listen to while we're in the car.
What's wrong with listen to now?
Let's just say we have different tastes, you know?
Why don't you try listening to a podcast on Spotify?
Like which one?
The Broken Cafe Studio one is really good.
Okay, I'll try that one out, thanks.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought. You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Click. Really? Really?
And we're back.
Wow.
Listen, now that I heard the rejoin, I want to wish my brother, New York Sound, Steve.
How's he doing?
Not doing well. He had surgery yesterday. He's in a lot of pain, but he watches the show when he can. Our prayers are with you, brother. I'm going to call you after the show and make sure everything's all right. But
absolutely.
But he's been a friend of ours from the jump. So.
All right, we're thinking about you. All right, we're going to kick this over to our kids' corner. We've got Veggie Vera, Veronica Green in the house with a special ceviche of some sort. I don't know how she's going to make this, but we're going to see. A kid-friendly ceviche. How are you doing over there?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
We're fantastic. How's everything at the garden?
Everything's good. I was just there earlier today. It's a nice drippy day.
It's a drippy day, yes.
Did
but
it rain
was
up
fun.
there?
We're there, rain or shine.
And what's happening with the cookbook?
Cookbook is selling. It is up and available on the website. So it's veggievero.com. And it's also on Amazon if you're an Amazon shopper. Who isn't nowadays?
How are the kids and the parents reacting to the recipes? What's the feedback
They're
you're
really
getting?
loving it. I mean, a lot of these recipes, well, actually all of them are recipes that I made at our homeschool co-op with the kids. So I already know that they're kind of a hit because I chose the ones that were the favorites. I chose the top favorites to put in the book. So I had firsthand experience cooking them with kids before making the book, so that was helpful. So they're loving it, and now they have the recipes. They can recreate it at home. It's a good confidence builder because they do it maybe for the first time at the garden, but then they get to go home and do it again and practice and get better, sharpen their utensil skills and their seasoning skills, and it's really a good confidence builder.
And they get to make their choices, which is what I love about kids cooking, is when the kids are empowered to make choices. If it's broccoli or cauliflower, or if it's strawberry or a raspberry, it's their choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
But either way, they're good choices.
Exactly.
So they're empowered, but yet you know as a parent that they're healthy choices.
No matter what they choose is going to be healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what I also like about the cooking classes we do at the garden is that it's always plant-based, and it's always nut-free and gluten-free. So it's very inclusive of everybody's allergies and specific dietary needs. Well, pretty much everybody. I mean, I'm personally not nut-free or gluten-free, but I have learned quite a bit about how to work around those and navigate those types of diets because that's how we do it there. So
Because
everybody feels
it can be
included.
really dangerous for these kids, for anyone, if they've got a nut allergy, to be exposed to what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they can really get sick.
Yeah, so I've learned a lot of alternatives, like seed-based alternatives, like seeds versus nuts, sunflower butter instead of peanut butter, stuff like that. Because with the allergies, it can be actually quite dangerous. Like even if they don't consume it, if it's in the air, it can be an anaphylactic thing where they just can't even inhale it. So we just nut-free zone.
Well, Freddie's still talking about the Caesar salad dressing you made when you were
Oh
here.
my God.
That was good. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That's a cookbook in itself.
We were actually at Whole Foods looking for something. He was looking for dressing, and I said, well, we can get you hummus and mustard, and you can make your own.
There you
said,
go.
No, I'm leaving that for Veronica. But like if you could sell it, if you prepackaged that and people had it, then you wouldn't even worry about what's in the sauces and what's in your dressings. There's no extra
That's
sugars.
true, but I mean, it's not like Caesar dressing packaged up doesn't exist. That's already.
But your Caesar dressing,
There's a reason.
without the fat and
there's
without
a
the
reason.
sugar.
There's a
Yeah.
reason when you're watching your carbs and everything else, your dressing, that particular, minus the syrup, the pancake syrup, which you could put a little stevia or something, even
True.
guava.
Yeah.
I heard you could put guava in place of the syrup.
Yeah, well, you need something, just a tiny bit to sweeten, to add a sweet element, because when you do the mustard and the hummus, it's a very like strong. It can become like a more savory, almost bitter-ish taste if you don't add just a tiny bit of sweetness. I don't put much, just a little bit.
I put trivia in it. And I
Trivia,
started-
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you made it at home?
You go to my fridge and it's right there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because it has the right amount of carbs, which
Good.
is zero and everything else. It's a good alternative. And I'm looking for alternatives as it is right now.
I'm so glad you took it home and made it.
Well,
That's
let's see
great.
what you've got cooking, no pun intended, for your next alternative of today. Maybe you'll have some lunch.
Maybe there's
All
something
right.
there.
So today we are going to be making a vegan ceviche, and I'm going to do this for the kiddos at home. We're going to use this for the kids corner. So if you're following along, I'll tell you the ingredients that you'll need. We're going to have heart of palms. Okay, you'll need some tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, lime or lemon, either one will work. You will need an avocado, a little bit of coconut milk, and that's coconut milk that is like from the can. It's for cooking. It's not the coconut milk that you would buy for like cereal or something. It has more fat in it, the coconut fat. And then you just need salt and pepper, and those are all your ingredients. All right, so let's get started. I did forget my cutting board today, so I'm going to be using a paper plate as a cutting board. Excuse me there. Okay, so let's start with our, I keep forgetting the word for these, heart of palms. So the heart of palms, they are a very healthy alternative to seafood, actually, and they kind of replicate that, it replicates the fish, basically. I mean, you would usually be making ceviche with seafood and fish. So we're gonna take some heart of palm on your cutting board. Make sure you have help from an adult if you need help using the knife. And you're just gonna cut it into little chunks. Here, I can move this. Are you familiar with hearts of palm? So heart of palm is literally the heart of the palm tree. It is what is found inside the stem of the palm tree. I want to say trunk, but it's technically not a trunk. A palm tree is actually not a tree, it's a plant because it doesn't have a sturdy trunk. But inside that stem where it's growing from, there's a heart, and that's what this is. And in order to harvest it, you actually have to cut the tree down. So there was a lot of controversy a long time ago about heart of palms, that they're not sustainable for the planet. They were decimating rainforests to get the hearts from the palm trees. Nowadays, there's been a lot of laws put into place to protect our natural environments, and they'll have palm tree farms where they grow them just for harvesting, and the cycle continues, so they're not going to natural spaces and decimating them. All right, so I'm just chopping these up into little pieces. And again, the heart of palm has kind of a fleshy consistency, and it's going to replicate our fish. All right, got that? Now the next thing we're gonna move on to is, let's do our avocado. And now for the little ones at home, I always tell the kids in my class that if you maybe have tried some of these things and you don't like them, or at least you think you don't like them, first of all, keep trying, because our taste buds change all the time. Our taste buds are always changing from month to month, especially when we're little. You might not like something 1 month, and then 1 or 2 months later you taste it again, and all of a sudden you like it. So keep on trying things. And then the other thing is, you might not like something individually, but once you taste it all mixed in with the other stuff, it's really delicious. So just keep that in mind. So for the ceviche, everything is kind of getting chopped into pretty small chunks. And for the avocado, I would say probably half of the avocado. I'm going to do like a little tiny bit more than half, because I really like avocado. Avocado is one of the healthiest things you can put in your body. It's a superfood. All right. Make sure you have napkins handy, because this gets a little messy. Okay, so we have our heart of palm and our avocado so far in the bowl. We're getting there. So now let's move on to our tomatoes. A few cherry tomatoes. I like, with the kiddos, working with cherry tomatoes because they're just small and easy to cut up. I'm going to cut mine into 4s, so in half and then in half again. Thank you. Yeah, it is colorful. It's nice and bright. So making a ceviche is kind of similar to like making a salsa, chopping up all these different ingredients, putting it in the bowl, and then eating it with chips. Okay, so far that's what we have. All right, and so then now we move on to our, I don't know if I mentioned this when I was telling you the ingredients. I also have a red onion. Now for little ones at home, if you don't want to use red onions, if your parents don't want you to use red onions because they can cause our eyes to burn and water, it's totally fine to skip this, or you can use green onions, the tall green onions that grow from the ground. You can use those instead, and those don't have the burning effect.
The healthiest onion is the red onion.
The red onion, that's what I have, yeah. So there is a trick for eliminating that burning sensation, which I've learned, but I haven't actually tried it. You cut the top and bottom part of the onion off and submerge the onion in water and leave it in the refrigerator, soaking in water, I think overnight. And then when you take it out and you're ready to cut with it, it'll be burn-free, tear-free. Haven't tried it. So if you're using the onion, make sure you cut it into very small bits because it's strong. Okay, so you can see a little bit how we're getting there. So far it just looks like a big pile of stuff. Yeah, a salad. But it's gonna get better when we add the liquids. So I think those are all of our solids, yeah. So now we're gonna move on to liquids and seasoning. So you wanna go ahead and grab your lemon or lime. I have both. I think I'm going to use the lemon only because my lime is really firm. It's not quite ripe enough, so I'm going to use the lemon. Either one will work. Just cut it in half and don't skimp on this as much as you want. And just squeeze it right in there. Yeah, there's no sugar involved in this one. I'm putting a lot of lemon. I really like a lot on this. Yeah, because it was very ripe. Like it was starting to get soft already, so it was ready to be used. Okay. Now, the next liquid is our coconut milk. So again, this is the full fat coconut milk. Best for cooking.
Is that like Coco Loco?
What is it?
Coco Loco.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a coconut milk used for cooking. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Condensed coconut milk now too.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's coconut milk for cooking. It comes in a can, and I always try to get the organic and like low sodium, low everything. So, okay, now it's looking a little bit like kind of whitish and creamy. It's getting there. And now it's just onto the seasonings. I'm gonna put salt and pepper. And I have another special seasoning, which is the only thing you may not have at home. So you can skip it totally if you don't have it. But if you're ever able to get your hands on this, they sell it at Whole Foods. I don't know if they have it at Publix, but for sure at Whole Foods. It's called kelp. It's basically like seaweed, and this is the kelp granules. So it's been grinded up into little flakes. So it's more of a seasoning. You've seen the seaweed sheets probably that you can make sushi out of. This is basically almost the same thing except just made into a seasoning. And it's really healthy. It has a lot of iodine. It's good for our thyroids. It has quite a lot of health benefits. So just gonna sprinkle it in there. And now we're ready to mix it up and give it a taste test. So I don't know if you can get the camera to zoom in so you can see the finished product. And I find that this is even more delicious after it sits for, a little while, like 15, 20 minutes, even up to an hour in the fridge. Yeah, the longer it sits, the more the juices and the flavors marinate. But it's very delicious. Okay, let me try it real quick, and then I'll let you guys try it. I just have to give it the approval. Perfect. It's very lemony. I like it lemony. I don't know if it's too lemony for you guys. I'll put a little more coconut milk. Okay. So then you can serve it however you want. You can, of course, eat it on its own. You can serve it as a side. I like to eat it with chips. I have blue corn chips. Would anybody like to try it?
If you don't want to try the line at the door.
Oh my gosh.
And they're going to sample it up. Oh, you've got chips.
You know what? Can you bring me a spoon? Because I just
ate off of that one.
Ate
Let's
off
get
of
her
this
a
one, yeah.
spoon.
Now, can I let you in on a little something here that my Caribbean
I like
buddies,
hear your mouth is like savoring for
but my
this.
Caribbean buddies in here will understand. There was a dish like this that my mother used to make with codfish.
Ceviche
So
with
they
fish,
used
yeah?
to, this whole ceviche, and they used to take codfish with a little bit of sazon, a little tomato sauce type of deal, and you used to mix this together, and then you take dough and you make these round patties. They're called janicletas. And my father used to make this every Sunday.
Thank you.
So she's putting this whole thing together, and when she added the coconut milk, it just hit me. I'm a little familiar with this dish.
I love Hearts of Palm. I think this is such a great idea. And healthy snack, healthy lunch. You know, we're always looking for things to sustain our metabolism during the day. So we're grabbing a chip, not you, but most people, they grab chips, they grab nuts, they grab candy. But if you have this, you've got a healthy snack right there for you, ready to rock and roll.
It's good stuff, and the game for me has changed because all of a sudden I have to find
Here,
different
this one
ways
has all the juices.
of enjoying this stuff.
All right, let's see. She's got more for you guys also. They all say yes. Oh my God, this is so good. Great, here you go. Got that? Wow.
What do you think?
That's delicious. You would never know it wasn't seafood, actually.
Right? I might have put too much lemon in it for
No, it's delicious,
some people's
actually.
liking. I like it very lemony.
Do you love that?
But it's an easy snack. It's super easy and it's healthy and it's delicious.
Is the recipe in the cookbook?
It is in the cookbook. It's one of so the cookbook has 10 like core recipes that are illustrated and has the step-by-step instructions. And then at the end, there's like a list of other kind of like quickie recipes that I added in. It doesn't have the illustrations and all of the step-by-steps, so, but
this is in there.
one of those. It is at the end of the book.
And how do people get this cookbook? Oh my gosh, you guys, you got to get this.
Yay!
I'm gonna say you did it, the woman does it again.
Yeah, so the
this is
book
on-
again is on veggievero.com. And I love to hear back from people who have made the recipes. I love to hear your personal experiences and what kind of like food twists you put on the different recipes. I had somebody that reached out to me that actually made the ceviche and said they did it exactly like this, but they added mango, and that was a really cool twist. Mango also.
It's delicious. Wow. Yeah, you see, everyone came out, they ran in for food. What do you all think?
Awesome.
Hearts of Palm, it's not fish. You would never know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, this is like, you don't have to be vegan or even vegetarian to necessarily enjoy these meals. I mean, so a lot of people are just trying to cut back on meat in general.
This is unbelievable.
And the fish specifically is really, you know, it's hard with fish these days. Our oceans are poisoned. There is a lot of crap in our oceans right now with all of the oil spills and and even just the plastics, the microplastics that have begun seeping into all of the pores of all of the living animals in the ocean have those seeping into their pores, and what they eat, you eat if you're eating them. So this is a healthy alternative. It's totally
And the other side
plant-based.
is everyone's so worried about the economy of things.
True.
You've got onion, lemon, a few cherry tomatoes, and Hearts of Palm.
And avocado.
Easy, and avocado, but you're talking about an easy price point to feed your kids?
Absolutely.
Or
yeah.
dinner?
Absolutely.
And you're good to go.
This is unbelievable. That's like she did it again.
Thank you, as always, Veronica Green, Veggie
You're
Vero. You can
welcome.
check her out all
Unbelievable.
over social media, veggievero.com.
Yes. That's right.
Veggievero.com, all of her books, and everyone is always a hit. You ready to wrap this up?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and tune in on Saturday on Kids Corner. More to come with that. I'm sure we'll have this episode up and ready to roll.
Unbelievable.
Get the book at her website. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay safe, stay dry, and be kind to each other, and we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.